Today, I want to show you how to make the amazing tobacco patch. The nicotine patch is what brought me back from the brink of death. I had lost almost 50 pounds. I was sleeping 12, 16 hours a day, and I had all kinds of other aches and pains and problems with my health. The nicotine patch instantaneously relieved all of my symptoms. However, after a few months, the effects started wearing off, which I talked about in another video I made, which I'll leave a link to in the description below. It was after 3 months or so, it just quit working, and I would do it again. I would do more patches. I'd do stronger patches, and it just kind of went from bad to worse, and I was getting sick all over again. But then I realized that the reason it stopped working, the reason which the Lord showed me, is because the nicotine patch is a synthetic substance, like vitamins that are synthetically made. They work for a while, but then they stop working once your body figures out that it's not real, it's being tricked. And so it just kind of stops doing its thing. That's what I figured was going on with the nicotine patch. So I made my own tobacco patch with real nicotine in it, and I got real long-lasting results. It's been over 6 months now, and no more long COVID symptoms. My son has CRPS, complex regional pain syndrome, and it helps him. It's not the cure for him like it was for me, but it helps him a lot. I've also recommended this to some other CRPS patients, and it has helped them a lot as well. But for long COVID, this is the end of the line for this horrifying, sinister, man-made illness that was introduced into the population a few years back. There's only 3 ingredients needed to make the tobacco patch. First is just a little bit of coconut oil. This is the organic, preferred, unfiltered coconut oil that you can buy in the grocery store. Next is paper tape. And this is the 1-inch paper tape, but if you can find a larger roll, that might be easier. And finally, tobacco. The tobacco can sometimes be a little bit hard to find. Generally, the cigar stores is the best place to look, but not all of them carry it. I had to drive all over Houston to find a cigar shop that carried this tobacco. And also, the tobacco has a shelf life. It seems like after 2 or 3 months, it kind of starts losing its effectiveness, so you'll need to replace it. In the future, I'd like to be able to grow my own tobacco and make my own leaves. That way, I'm sure I'm not getting anything that's processed or has any extra chemicals in it. So what you do is you just cut 3 strips. You cut them about this size, which is, I cut mine probably about 2.5, 3 inches long. Okay, so now we have 3 strips. And by the way, the tape kind of sticks to your finger pretty easily. So the easiest way to do that is after you cut it, you kind of grab it by the side of the tape so it doesn't keep sticking to your finger. Then after you have your 3 strips of tape, I just kind of put them together to make one big piece of tape. It's possible that maybe you can find a wider portion of tape or a wider roll of tape, and that might be easier. I couldn't find any, so I had to use these 3 little strips. The next step is you just get you a little bit of coconut oil, just a little tiny amount, not too much, maybe like about a quarter of a teaspoon or less. The little tiny amount of coconut oil goes onto the paper tape that you just made. Then you put a pinch of the tobacco. I used a couple pinches on top of the coconut oil. I'm using a little bit more tobacco than I would if the tobacco was new, or if I was new to it. If you're new to doing this, if you haven't done it before, then you probably just want to use about half this much. You always want to go slow to make sure that you don't overdo it, and you kind of want to give your body some time to understand what this is. That's how you make the amazing tobacco patch. And for me, I wear it for about 12 hours. I start in the morning and I take it off before I go to bed at night because it gives me energy. It's also interesting. I've learned from doing this how very absorbent our skin is, because I've only had this on for about a minute and I can already taste it in my mouth. Isn't that interesting? After only a minute, I have little tiny tastes on my tongue. It's almost like little tiny metallic pinprick tastes on my tongue. And it gives me energy throughout the day. It's a stimulant. It may be a stimulant. I don't know. That's not why I take it. I don't feel the effects of tobacco like people who smoke or anything like that. But you do get a little bit of a burst of energy, and so you don't want to take it at night or sleep in it, or you may be up at night. Also, I would not wear it for more than about 12 hours, 24 hours, because once again, it's a natural substance, and you're going to use it up after a while. And also the glue on the tape and everything probably isn't that great for you. It outweighs the good of the tobacco outweighs the bad of the glue and the tape and everything. But I wouldn't keep it on for an extended period of time. You may need to do it like for a few days at first, maybe like 4 or 5, 6 days at first, and then you can kind of go on to a maintenance mode. The other thing I've noticed is I go to the bathroom a lot when I'm doing this thing, and sometimes, at least at first, it was a almost like a ugly, darkish brown at first. But I'm not a doctor or anything, and of course, this video is just for entertainment purposes. But I think it's my body detoxing. It's getting rid of all of this junk that's inside of me. And the day after I do it, I just feel great. I feel like I'm perfectly normal again. It's such a huge comeback from being so sick for so long. And I give credit to the Lord for showing this to me. I knocked on the door. I did some investigation, but ultimately, God showed me what I needed to be healed, completely healed of this. It's gone, 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 gone. I have no symptoms from it. All right. Every now and then, like when they're doing heavy chemtrailing or something, I kind of start to get feeling bad or something. And I'll do the patch, and that just kind of knocks out all the crap that they're putting in the air and the food and everything else. All right. I hope this is a blessing to you from God through me.